All right, perfect, man. That's it. That's it. Nice
Well,
job, man. I killed it.
very cool, man. Well, my name is Jake Ebright. Thanks for having me here in Nundy. I'm an actor, director, writer, and producer that is currently based in LA. I grew up in Maryland, though, Baltimore, Maryland. And I'm out here and I'm working on the acting career and trying to make a go of it.
What was that turning point in your life like when you realized that acting has always been your true passion?
I don't know if there's any definitive point. I kind of decided over a period of time that this is what I wanted to do. The end of junior year of college, I was trying to figure out a business idea, start a business after school was over. So I was really into entrepreneurship. From the summer after junior year to the end of first semester senior year, I was thinking of business ideas. I came up with a whole bunch of crazy inventions and things, like a pencil with extra eraser inside, which is actually pretty cool. I did colorful diabetic socks was another idea I had. A whole bunch of crazy harebrained ideas that none of them really were speaking to me or that I thought would actually work. That was the problem. So second semester senior year came around and I was like, let me just chill and enjoy college while it's here, because once it's gone, it's going to be gone. So I put all that on hold and I turned up the throttle, so to speak, on my normal way of operating, which is forget about all that business stuff. And so I auditioned for this play that was going to go up the second semester just for fun. I figured it would be something that would make me kind of anxious to do. And I like doing stuff like that because I think there's a lot of opportunity for growth there. And once you do some stuff that you think you're afraid of, you realize you can do it, which is a pretty cool feeling. The audition was a ton of fun, but I didn't even get the part. They told me I was undirectable.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah. So I didn't get in the play like that, but I did work on the set crew for it. And so anyway, I got to become friends with everybody, the costume people, the actors, the director, who's a really nice lady named Linnea Bond. Her and I became friends, and she introduced me to a former student of hers that went to school out at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. I ended up knowing I was coming to LA. I was talking to her at the time about all this stuff that was happening out here with her student, and I was thinking, well, shoot, the audition was pretty fun. I've always liked movies. Why not? I'll go do that. I'll go be in the movies out in California. And what's cooler than going to a city you've never been to, Los Angeles, city of angels in the United States, and being in the movies, something that's completely new to you, new to your family, and totally badass. And so, yeah, here we are in between 2.5 and 3 years into it. So 2 years and 7 months, something like that.
Did you have other places in mind to pursue?
I was gonna say. So this is what that's what I was thinking a second ago. Was originally I had a job interview for Insomnia Cookies in New York. So this is also second semester senior year. So school's ending. I don't have any job. It was the day before the interview was gonna happen in New York. I ate this spaghetti that was in my fridge. And because I was trying to save money and eat food I had in my fridge as opposed to going out, I got as sick as I've ever been in my entire lifetime. I was, you don't know the details. It was ugly. And I slept for 36 hours straight. That was what screwed that up. So I didn't get the job up there. And because of that, I ended up being able to get a job interview out here in LA, working for that company I was working for before, the data analytics company. Just so happened that those things kind of coincided together and I was able to move out here.
Imagine how different your life would have been if you were actually in New York instead of LA.
Or if I didn't eat the spaghetti. For real.
You have worked in many films. For A Beautiful World, Smile. Did you have any particular film that you still think back to and you're that was a lot of fun? Any favorite film of yours?
Smile that you mentioned, that was recently. There's a great thing about that. So I told you I like Western movies. I grew up, my grandma lives on a farm, my dad's mom. So, we have horses and cows there and stuff. So I grew up riding horses since I was 2-3 years old. However, I have a super bad horse allergy. So if I get around them, and the den or whatever they got gets in your eyes, it makes your eyes water, your throat gets kind of scratchy, We're filming this film Smile up in Topanga Canyon, and it was nighttime shoot. 5 hours in, I started feeling a little bit of throat scratchy, eyes, my nose was running, I couldn't stop it. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, what? Does somebody have a cat? Because I'm also allergic to cats. So what has happened here? And the one girl, Paige, was like, well, there's a horse farm, right over there. And I was like, oh no, man. And then it dawned on me, I could smell the manure. I just didn't know. I thought they were fertilizing or something like that. So it so happens that we're right next to this ginormous horse farm, big enough that even the air being next to it, adjacent to the farm, is getting my allergies going crazy. Luckily, we finish up all like the main coverage. We're in like the 9th, 10th hour of the shoot, and we need to film this scene where I'm real emotional because I've just left, the main girl, my love interest, right? They got the camera in the rear view looking at my eyes, and my eyes are just watering from horse allergies. So that was a pretty cool experience and a good memory, definitely, from shooting.
Do you have an influential figure in your life that you look up to? Like, this person has allowed you to stay motivated, to keep pushing forward? Like,
I think picking one on a type of question like this is a difficult thing to do. I think there's so many influences in somebody's life that it could be any number of things. I'll pick three. My grandpa, for one, my mom's dad, who moved here from India in 1970. So just that kind of adventurous spirit of completely going away from your home, your family, and working for your dream, whatever that is. That's always an inspiration to me. Number two, Teddy Roosevelt, because he seems like a pretty cool dude. The guy did so much in his life. Like, he was a statesman, a politician, he's in the military, all sorts of crazy stuff. The guy got shot and like went on to give a speech with a bullet in his body, which is crazy. If you learn something from him, or people like that, it's just emblematic of people like that, is that there's so much you can do in your life if you just go do it. And no one's gonna give you permission to do stuff. You just gotta go do it. And it will work or it won't, but you won't know until you give it a shot. And number three, I'd say, is a book called The Alchemist, which I think is
yeah, that's a great book. Yeah,
it's all about a little shepherd kid who, again, leaves home in search of his what they call personal legend, which is kind of like destiny or something like that, your fate, or your dreams, your passions, whatever you are meant to be pursuing. You think about all the time whether you're on the right path of going where you want to go, whether you should make changes to get on a different path if you've kind of gone off course. Those three together definitely keep me motivated all the time and day by day working towards it, man.
Coming from an Indian family background, I'm actually kind of curious, like, has your family been pretty supportive of you pursuing acting, or has it been was it kind of like a big change that they had to wrap their minds around because this was not originally your plan?
They've been crazy supportive. So my mom was born in India and she moved here when she was 9. And then my dad was just born in Pennsylvania. So he's, Caucasian. I'm half and half. In fact, my mom's probably even more of an active supporter because we wrote the short film that we wrote it together. So stuff like that. I mean, both of my parents are all about entrepreneurship and thinking outside the box. So they're all on board 100%.
This whole short film, you wrote it with your mom, but were there any times during that process where you kind of came across any fear or doubt, thinking that it may, the message that you're trying to convey to the audience, it may not be conveyed at all? What was that whole process like for you? In terms of challenges, definitely challenges, and definitely times where I thought it wasn't going to happen. I had started writing in October 2019, I think, a couple months after I got here to LA. I started writing a feature-length movie. And then October 2020, a year in, I was reading about people like Damien Chazelle, Owen Wilson, Wes Anderson, people like that who had a feature movie and they needed proof of concept and funding for it. So they took a step back and made a short film to show, just a little excerpt of the movie to show what it'd be like. After a year of writing, me and my mom, we had a decent amount of pages, not all solid, but 90 pages or whatever. October 2020, I pulled out about 20 pages from that movie to make a little short. And then from October 2020 till about October 2021, a couple months ago, it was working on the short film, pre-production, production, post-production. Originally, we were going to shoot in February 2021. About 5 or 6 months of planning for this thing. We get 4 days out from the principal photography date, and a roommate of mine gets COVID. 4 days away. I was like, there's no way this is going to happen, just because I can't believe it. And I was like, it's gonna happen. You gotta start telling yourself that and acting like it is. This is January. I was telling myself this. We gotta postpone the whole thing. Even if I was COVID negative, it's only 4 days out. You read about COVID sometimes hatches or whatever on the 5th day, 6th, 7th day. So we couldn't risk going there and potentially getting somebody sick and having something crazy happen over a movie. We rescheduled to April, 2 more months of planning time, which is give me 2 months of planning time, dude. I'm gonna make some shit happen. It ended up being a real big blessing. Long story short, it turns out that it worked out much for the better. And I'm sure that the movie would be totally different if we hadn't had that time to plan. I didn't really think all that much about how other people were gonna receive it.
until actually at school when we were going to show it to like an audience. And then I was like, oh boy, I haven't thought once if people are going to like this thing. Like, they might not like it at all. I think that's really important though. You're writing it for you. Like I've read about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck writing Good Will Hunting. They weren't writing for anybody. They were just writing stuff that made them laugh or that they thought was cool. Making art, it's what it is. It's about what you want to express, and it is what it is. But people will like it or they won't, but you got to make what you want to make, I think.
When I came to BHP to audit for the first time with Hannah, you were the first performance I ever saw at BHP, and you set the level, you know, this fucking high, and I was so impressed with just how you like presented yourself on stage, man. It was inspiring, it was different, and it kind of just, I don't know, it just gave me a better feel for LA, making me feel like this is home. I was just a little intimidated, but just talking to you afterwards and getting to know your vibe and stuff, I don't know, man. You really did make BHP feel like home for me, and I think you're incredibly talented, and I am just looking forward to working with you down the road. And hey, man, finally got the damn scene in the books. But I just want to say thank you for doing this, man, and I just wish you nothing but the best, dude. Seriously.
Well, thanks, Don. Yeah, I really appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you having me on here to talk, dude. It's been awesome, and I'm looking forward to May as well.
All right, Jake. Well, that is the end of our interview. Thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you would like to leave with the audience?
I'd like to tell about my short film here that is out in the festival circuit right now. It's called Good Men and Unicorns. It's about a lonely grocery clerk, played by me, who befriends an aging former actress, played by Chris Ann Russell of our Beverly Hills Playhouse. You can check out the trailer. You can check out the pictures of it and follow us on Instagram, Ebright45. Make sure you follow Nandi here on Sharma Karma. That's your Instagram, and Sharma Karma TV, the YouTube channel.
All right, perfect, man. That's it.
Right
Nice
on.
job, man. I can feel it.
Very cool, man.